Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. And welcome to the third edition of Rocheston Reinvent Cybersecurity Conference, and for the first ever virtual edition of the conference. We have been hosting this conference over the past couple of years in different locations around the world. This year, like everyone else, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we had to shift our focus completely online. And so here we are. We are very happy with the response we have received for the conference, with almost 900 registered participants for the 3 days that we are running this conference. Thank you all. As you all know, the world is going through a complete change due to the global pandemic. Businesses are being redefined, offices are becoming decentralized, and companies have had to rethink their entire business models. This is going to have a huge impact on cybersecurity as more and more offices are choosing to have their employees stay and work from home. Some examples: Twitter, one of the biggest social media platforms in the world, have told all of their employees to permanently work from home. In India, TCS, Cognizant, companies, some of the titans of our industry have started telling all of the employees that they can work from home permanently. This is going to become the new normal. This is going to pose a huge challenge for security because most organizations, when they focus all of the cybersecurity efforts, they invest millions and millions of dollars to secure centralized office spaces with centralized networks. Now, when you have employees working from different parts of the globe in remote locations from their homes, you have so many more satellite offices coming up in mainstream industry. This is going to become a big challenge for securing it. Now, over the next 3 days, join us and our distinguished panel of speakers as they take you through the evolving landscape of cybersecurity and some of the recent developments in the world of cybersecurity, especially when it comes to what the new working security order will be for all of these satellite offices. How do you secure employees when they are at home behind their own networks? They are not working behind a safe, protected network in an organization. So this is just some of the insights that our speakers are going to take you through. We have 18 expert cybersecurity speakers from varied fields and backgrounds who will be able to give us insights into how cybersecurity is evolving across industries. Please ask them questions and network with them. On the left side of your screen, you will see a networking option. During the breaks, you can use that option and start networking with the speakers and each other. If you wish to ask a speaker a question, at the end of the session, during the Q&A, please do type out your questions in the chat window and they will be able to see and answer it for you. Please feel free to ask questions. The more the better. We love interactive sessions. The speakers do too. So once again, I would like to thank all of you for being here today. Let's have fun and a knowledge-packed 3 days. With that, I would like to introduce our CEO, Mr. Vasanth Davis, on screen to deliver the welcome note. Over to you, sir. You're live. Yes, you're live, sir. Mr. Vasanth, you're live.
Welcome to reInvent 2020. Rocheston Reinvent Virtual Cybersecurity Conference goes live today for 3 days. To the speakers, to partners, associates, subject matter experts, thought leaders, and exponents of cybersecurity, a welcome. The growth of the internet has impacted profoundly on everyday life and the global economy. It has evolved into a global, interconnected network of systems and information, the cyberspace as we know it today, transforming the conduct of business and opening new markets. Threats to cybersecurity are persistent and constantly evolving. With an ever-growing number of cyber attacks on critical infrastructure, online commerce, and the private sector worldwide, security experts are finding that their work has become a race against the attackers Reinvent is conceived to draw on the combined knowledge, the skills, and expertise of the cybersecurity community to identify the emerging threats and facilitate the development of coherent policies and robust capabilities. Our mission is to promote dialogue and provide a platform for information exchange and cooperation between stakeholders, industry, academia, and security experts worldwide. The cybersecurity issues are becoming day-to-day struggles for businesses. Recent trends and cybersecurity statistics reveal a huge increase in hacked and breached data from sources that are increasingly commonplace in our work, like mobiles and IoT devices. Additionally, recent security research suggests that most companies have unprotected data and poor cybersecurity practices in place, making them vulnerable to data loss. To successfully fight against malicious intent, it is imperative that companies make cybersecurity awareness, prevention, and security best practices a part of their culture. Worldwide spending on cybersecurity has been increasing. It is forecasted to reach $135 billion in 2022. 62% of businesses have experienced phishing and social engineering attacks in the year 2018 alone. 68% of business leaders feel that their cybersecurity risks are only increasing. Only 5% of companies' folders are properly protected on an average. Data breaches exposed 4 billion records in the first half of 2019. 71% of breaches were financially motivated. 25% of them were motivated by espionage. 52% of breaches featured hacking. 28% of them involved malware. And about 32% included phishing or social engineering, respectively. Between January 2005 and April 2020, there have been 9,800 recorded breaches. While overall ransomware infections have come down, enterprise infections have grown and gone up. The top malicious email attachment types are .doc, .dot, which make up about 37%. The next highest is .exe at 19.5%. At the end of this year, the estimated number of passwords used by humans and machines worldwide will grow to 300 billion. The increasing amount of large-scale, well-publicized breaches suggests that not only are the number of security breaches going up, they are increasing in severity as well. data breaches expose sensitive information that often leave exposed users at risk for identity theft, ruin companies' reputations, and almost always leave the company liable for compliance violations. Security breaches have increased by 11% since 2018. Hackers attack every 39 seconds, on an average 2,244 times a day. The average time to identify a breach in 2019 was over 200 days. The average life cycle of a breach was 314 days from the breach to containment. 500 million users, we know, dating back in 2014, had their information compromised in the Marriott Starwood data breach made public in 2018. 64% of Americans have never checked to see if they were affected by a data breach. And 56% of Americans don't know what steps to take in the event of a data breach. The average cost of data breaches is about $4 million as of 2019. 83% of enterprise workloads will move now to the cloud by the end of this year. In 2016, 3 billion Yahoo accounts were hacked in one of the biggest breaches of all time. In that same year, Uber reported that hackers stole the information of over 57 million riders and drivers. Uber tried to pay off hackers to delete the stolen data and keep the breach quiet. In 2017, 400 million user accounts were stolen from friend finders sites. In that same year, 150 million consumers were affected by the Equifax breach. The Equifax breach in that year cost the company over $4 billion in total. In 2018, Under Armour reported that its MyFitnessPal was hacked, affecting 150 million users. It is crucial to have a grasp of the general landscape of metrics surrounding cybersecurity issues, including what the most common types of attacks are and where they come from. Some of these most common attacks include phishing, whaling, social engineering, DDoS attacks, malware, and ransomware. There are new malware and viruses being discovered every day. Varonis recently discovered the Monero cryptojacking malware during a cryptojacking investigation that had secretly plagued a company for over a year. In 2019, 94% of malware was delivered by email. So when it comes to cybersecurity, not all industries are created equal. Industries that store valuable information, like healthcare and finance, are usually bigger targets for hackers who want to steal social security numbers, medical records, and other personal data. But really, no one is safe because lower risk industries are also targeted due to the perception that they will have fewer security measures in place. Average expenditures on cybercrime are increasing dramatically, and costs associated with these crimes can be crippling to companies who have not made cybersecurity part of their regular budget. Cybersecurity budgets have been increasing steadily as more executives and decision makers are realizing the value and importance of cybersecurity investments.
Mr. Vasanth,
The demand for cybersecurity professionals continues to rise, along with rates of attacks and increases in cybersecurity budgets. The imbalance of the amount of skilled cybersecurity workers, along with the high demand to fill cybersecurity positions, has caused a cybersecurity skills shortage. There's no question that the security situation in cybercrime is dire. By assessing your company's business's cybersecurity risk, making company-wide changes, and improving overall cybersecurity behavior, it's possible to protect your business from data breaches. Make sure you've done everything you can do to avoid becoming a victim to an attack. The time to change the culture toward improved cybersecurity is now. Speakers from all over the world, representing a wide spectrum of industry, business, services, and domains that span the cybersecurity landscape, are speaking at reInvent 2020. The topics presented at reInvent 2020 will range from innovating cybersecurity, bridging the gap of cybersecurity in the education system, demystifying artificial intelligence and cybersecurity, demystifying and creating a talk on the revolution of employability in cybersecurity, emerging threats that are assailing us in the COVID-19 pandemic, security enterprise IoT, to up business value, to achieving governance in cloud computing with policy management. Besides making whistle stops at other crucial aspects of the cybersecurity arena with deeply incisive, analytical, and insightful presentations by subject matter experts and thought leaders. On behalf of Rocheston, the partners, associates, and organizers, I once more welcome each and every delegate to the reInvent 2020.
Thank you, Mr. Vasanth, for that very insightful welcome.